What's poppin', and welcome back to another episode of Fletcher the Fisherman. Today I got some ugly ladies here behind me. Y'all might recognize them.
I don't know if they recognize me, man. I don't think I've been in enough videos.
Have you been in a video?
I don't know. I haven't been in a video in like months, bro.
Yeah, okay. All right.
Not really.
Next one. Y'all haven't seen TJ on as much. I think just one video so far. So my boy YakPak and little Normie right here.
Hey, everybody.
Little cutie.
I think it's our second video together, maybe.
So both of y'all, this is both of y'all's second video on the channel.
I think it's our first, right?
Yeah, first. Maybe second?
Second. No, it's like 1.5.
Okay. Something like that. But anyways, today I'm gonna have these guys, some YouTubers, and I might hit up some other guys on FaceTime and have them pick out some lures for me to fish with. So I'm gonna go ahead and have them go over to my tackle box and pick out some stuff. So guys, you wanna follow me over to the goods? All right, YakPak is eager. What do you want?
I gotta go first. I want to pick the prize.
It's my turn. It's my turn for the prize. So I'm a Florida native, and I want you to catch a fish. I want you to put a hole in this with some hooks. No, I'm just kidding. So I'm actually gonna pick something for you. I literally just popped in my head that I don't use a lot, and it's crazy that I don't because it does catch a lot of fish. I don't use it, and that's gonna be. Where's your plastics at? Your soft plastic. It's gonna be a Wacky Rig. Where's your?
I believe that's him right there.
Oh yes. So I forgot what I was gonna say.
I forgot what these things are called.
This man's
YouTube video.
What are these things called again? I've never used them before.
Fletcher, I want you to catch one fish at least on the Wacky Rig, okay? For me, do it for me.
I think I can make that happen.
Okay. Well, I want it to be this big, thick, fat, black and blue one. Look at that. That's a thick boy. That's a thick boy right there. Look at that's a thick boy. I want you to Wacky Rig this one and catch a fish with it.
All right.
You think you can do it?
I think you can make it happen.
A Wacky Rig in general, but this would be the one I want you to use.
All right, stranger. What do you want?
All right, man. I'm gonna be honest with you. I had a dream about something the other night, and I was like, I really want to see Fletcher catch one on a bird. Do you have a bird?
I do have a bird.
You do. You just ruined your whole fishing trip because I'm gonna make you catch a fish on a bird. Where's the bird, Fletcher?
Show me the bird.
Where's the bird, Fletcher?
Oh God, you're gonna make me fish with a bird,
dude. I'm gonna be honest with you. I was not expecting him to have a bird, but you know now. Yes, I was like, wait a minute.
It's somewhere in here. There we go.
Oh my God, you really
This
just
man
did
comes standard equipped with birds.
That is so funny. You know what popped in my head? I was like, what is the one bait that Fletcher is not gonna own? It's gonna be definitely a bird, and he actually has a bird. I'm gonna be honest with you, Fletcher. I'm not gonna make you catch a fish. Do you want to catch a fish on it, or is it a pain in the butt?
Maybe something a little easier.
All right. We're gonna put it. You don't have to catch a fish with it, but it's.
I'll keep it as an option.
All right, it's optional. But I want to pick out another lure. Watch out, boy. Watch out, boy. Hey, watch out, boy. All right, let's see what you got here. We got. What's this?
That's terminal tag. You want me to catch a fish with a hook?
On a hook. Hook only.
Hook only. Okay.
Only EWG. I think I want to go with a jig.
Oh, no one wants to throw a jig?
No one wants to throw a jig. I know, it's like pretty...
That's... What? Right? Have you ever made a jig video?
Yo, do you have any hybrid jigs? You don't have any hybrid jigs, Fletcher?
They're fresh out. You've snapped all of them off. Every single one of them.
I ain't gonna lie. I did steal his last jig. All right.
And you snapped my rod in half.
All right. And I snapped his rod in half. Same day. See, he does have a hybrid jig. And this one right there, black and blue. Look at that. Yeah.
That's not like black and blue.
It's like a black.
I thought I was a colorblind one, bro.
Green pumpkin with a little bit of shabam in there. It's like a little bluegill thing. All right, you're gonna have to throw this bad boy. Can you handle it?
I think I can handle it.
You think you catch a big one on it? How to pair you up with a hybrid jig? Because that'll go through the grass a good bit. You're gonna be fishing a lot of grass.
Oh yeah.
So that's why I was asking that. All right, Fletcher, that's it, man. I'm gonna leave your tackle alone.
All right, big red cutie.
What's up, everybody? So today, Fletcher and I are going fishing. We're splitting them into teams of 2, actually. I don't think we said that yet. But Fletcher and I are going fishing. Kickin and YakPak are going fishing. But I know where we're going fishing today because I went there earlier. Caught 2 6-pounders. Noah caught a 7. I think I caught like a couple 4s. So I know what you need, dude. And it is going to be this frog right here. We didn't throw the frog. I was throwing the popper. But there's so many mats out there, so many grass mats. I think that frog, I think it's going to get the job done, dude. If you get blown up on this thing, like, I know that there's like 8-pounders in there. So that could be... That could be the sauce right there. I knew right away. I didn't have to go through all your tackle to figure that out, but I'm excited, bro. We're gonna hopefully, look at this dude. Look. Yo, what's up, bro?
Yo, Larry, what's up, bro? Larry. Yo, can you dap me up? Larry? Larry.
Quacking, my dude.
Larry. Well, that was rude. That is enough fooling around with the boys, so let's go ahead and hit the water, tie on one of these baits, and find us a biggin. We have made it to the pond, and I think I'm gonna start with the frog. We have a bunch of slop right here, and I think this is gonna be the perfect ticket for getting us a bite. Oh my gosh, I already see a lot of action going on up underneath this stuff. I feel like I'm gonna get whacked on this thing really quick, honestly. I'm itching to get a nice big old bite. The bite's been slow today. We already filmed one video earlier, and hopefully I can get through most of this today while we're still here.
Oh my god!
Another smacker.
Dude, I was not expecting that one, guys. That was in the middle. That one's bigger than the last one. Holy
dang, boy. Been putting on a clinic. There we go. Oh!
Dude,
ooh.
that was a mega.
Oh! Dude, I was looking at you. I just heard it. And like, of course, the one bite, the one freaking bite. I was looking at you, bro. Oh. I think that corner down there is going to be loaded, bro, with all the wind blowing up in there. And I think it was airborne after it.
Right about where my shoes at now is where it
Norm! Oh, we knew it was coming with the frog! With the frog! He went airborne! That's a monster!
Dude, I'm gonna go down.
That's a monster! Oh, come on! Get him! Yes! Dude! Swab that! That was an annihilation. That fish destroyed that frog. I mean, complete annihilation. That is a fat old bass. Norm, what do you think it weighs?
Dude, my guess is like probably 4 pounds.
Yeah.
I'm thinking maybe even
4
a
something.
bit bigger, like 4 and some change.
4 and changes sounds about right. I think that's a pretty accurate guess right there. We're gonna see what she weighs.
I think it's like 4.2 something. 4.1?
Up.
Does that mean up?
Up.
4.4?
4.45. 4.5 pounder. A nice fatty, guys. Finally been throwing that frog. Been just patient, super patient with it. Knew a good bite was coming if I could get one to commit to it. And this bad girl finally did. Destroyed. That was one of the best topwater blowups I've had in a long time. Let's go ahead and get this big old sloppy green gal back in. There she goes, guys. Off into the muck.
Nice job, bro.
Woo!
That might have been that one I missed earlier, dude. Remember when I said I missed a 4-pounder?
Yeah.
For a couple seconds?
Dude, that fish annihilated that thing.
Yeah. I'm not gonna lie, I thought he was bigger when you had him
Same.
hooked. So the way, like, I saw his head shake, he would have been a little bit fatter, dude.
When that fish came out of the water, I thought it was like a 6.
Yeah, so did I.
Okay, I could switch baits now, but I just got annihilated on this frog. I think I want to fish with this for a little bit longer before I switch over to the next bait one of these guys picked out for me. So I'm gonna toss this for a little bit longer, see if I can't just get just a giant mondo. I just have that gut feeling right now, like Norm said, that frog, man, there's something about the mondos and the frog, they just hammer the thing. I want to see something come up out of this muck to hit this frog.
Another one like a 5, and then maybe another 5.
Mm-hmm.
And then that 6. Oh my god.
There it is. There it is. There it is. Another fatty. Another fatty. Another fatty. Get on up in here, big boy. Get on up in here, big. Oh. Sorry, bud. Sorry, bud. I didn't mean to doink you in the bank. Swamped it. Dude, that's the first one that hit anywhere close to the edge, man. They've all been smoking it out deep today.
This just does not make sense, guys. It's like the opposite of where you think they would bite is where they're biting it today.
But a nice little fatty right there.
Yeah, I'd say probably like a 2-younder maybe.
Yeah.
Slightly under, but
Right, hovering around 2. We're gonna give her a nice little heave so she gets right through this grass mat. Woo! There we go, right there, right there. Yes, sir. Another one on the froggy. Swamped it. What's actually crazy about that is I saw some swirls exactly right where that fish bit, but I didn't think it was a bass. Like I saw like one swirl kind of to the left and one almost exactly where this fish was. Like before I casted that on limit, I was like, let me just work it to that spot. And I was like, I really didn't think it was, because I've seen a lot of like mad activity of just some like swirls and stuff.
Like tilapia and carp and stuff.
And things like that, and this sucker sure enough surprised me. Whee! Up on this mat. Yeah, they've moved up closer to the mat, seems like.
Something I just want to have like.
Oh my God, bro, that was a good fish. That was a good fish. That was a good fish. Annihilated that thing. Get him up through the muck. I can't quite tell how big this fish is, but I think he's decent. Oh yeah, buddy. Oh, that's a dark fish, man. He's been up under that mat. Another solid fat fish right there. That fish is so dark. Been up underneath that mat all day for a few days in a row to get dark like that. So most of the fish today have been out in the middle earlier. They were hidden top water, just like randomly out in the middle. I thought they would be like closer to this kind of this grass edge right here. Like the wind was really blowing a lot harder earlier, and I don't know if that like caused him to come out of the mat or be more aggressive out in the middle for whatever reason, but they kind of slowed down out in the middle. Now they're biting right on the edge of this grass line. That's where the last few bites I've had have come, and that's a really good quality bass right there. Bye, baby. Time to move on to the next bait. Got the Wacky Rig hooked up. This one was suggested by your boy YakPak. See if he does me right with this thing. But as you can tell, I'm in a new location, and unfortunately my time in Jacksonville for our little collab meetup ran out. Me and Norm kind of ran out of daylight, and because of what's going on in the world and whatnot, we were not able to get a hotel room or anything like that. So I kind of had to dart back onto South Carolina, where I do most of my filming. Fortunately for me, that doesn't mean I can't finish out this challenge here. But one thing I did want to address while I got y'all's attention, kind of loops into what I was talking about. But basically, one of my goals for this spring and this summer and kind of moving forward the channel is to fish at a lot of new locations, new ponds, new lakes, new creeks, rivers, whatever, you name it. I definitely want to make a strong effort to get out and fish new locations. I've seen a few comments, not a whole lot, just a few, basically asking me if I could go fish some new places instead of the ponds that I tend to fish a lot in my videos, and that's definitely been a huge goal of mine. I had big plans to do a lot more of it up to this point, but just with everything going on, it's made that difficult, but definitely kind of getting to a place where I'm going to be able to probably do that a little bit more, definitely locally here, kind of around me and where I spend most of my time. There we go. There we go. First one of the day. Almost fell in the boat. That's a nice one, guys. That is a nice one on the Wacky Rig right there. Give him a little bit of line. Came up right out of that tree to smoke that thing. Nice fatty. Really nice fatty. Holy smokes, I don't think he's hooked that well. Got a hand on him though. Oh, look at that. Second I grabbed him, he head shaked and threw that hook. Yes. That is a 3-pounder all day. Crushed the Wacky Rig. I'm actually gonna throw her on the scale. I'm actually curious to see what she weighs. Fire this bad boy up. But one thing I will tell you guys, it has been so windy down here. It is very nice to come out here and actually be able to talk to the camera without having to like hide from the wind or anything. But we got a reading on this fish, and 3.3 pounds is what she weighs. Nice chunk. Yes, sir. Can't complain with that for the first fish. But we're gonna go ahead and move on to the next bait. Since we spent a lot of time with the frog, gonna go ahead and move on to Noah's suggestion, which is the jig. So let's get this fat girl back in and move on to the jig. Whew. That's a beautiful fish. All tied up and ready to go. Got a nice little green jig on here. Went with some natural colors with this super crystal clear water. So let's go ahead and give this little bugger a flip in here. Hopefully there's some more fish up in this tree. This is usually a pretty good spot this time of year. I'll struggle a little bit to get one on that Wacky Rig, which surprises me because that thing is usually a fish catching machine, but struggles with the bigger fish sometimes. But as far as numbers go, it just gets annihilated like crazy by all types of bass. But I was not expecting it to take as long as it did to catch a fish, especially where I'm fishing. This is a pretty juicy little lake, but the water is just so clear, and I don't know. I've never seen it like this. These are definitely unique conditions. I don't think the jig should give us too much problems today though. I'm gonna work this tree, work it well, because like I said, it is usually a very good spot this time of year. especially back here in this corner. There's just a lot of big roots. It's one of the best laydowns in the lake back there. I'm just hoping something will come up out of this tree to just annihilate this thing. Oh, I think that's a fish. Yep, that's a fish. That is a fish. Come on in here, bucko. Another solid fatty. I don't know if this one's quite 3, but she's high 2s all day. That is a quality bass. Get up on in the boat here, you little sucker. Love getting my hands on a nice large jaw. That didn't take too long at all to smoke a nice little fatty on the jig. Like I said, that spot that I was fishing right there is just a juiced up spot. The fish get way up in those laydowns, so I wasn't expecting it to take too long to get a nice little chunk like this, but I'm actually going to switch back to the Wacky Rig because I forgot YakPak was very specific with the exact worm that he wanted me to use. In his words, not mine, he wanted me to use the big, thick, black and blue worm. Yeah, I think that's what he said.
Okay, well, I want it to be this big, thick, fat, black and blue one. Look at that.
And as requested, I have Yak Pax Worm on here, the one that he specifically requested. So we're gonna get back to work with this thing. But I'm actually gonna just keep flipping the same little set of bushes that I just caught those 2 fish off. I'm almost certain there's more fish in there. I've actually flipped the entire thing once, but I'm gonna go back through from the beginning and work all these little spots. I'm sure there's more fish up in there. Maybe seeing something different will get these fish to come out and smoke it. It definitely makes its presence known, so let's get it back up in these bushes. Sheesh, this bait is ginormous, guys. As YakPak said, this is a big, thick bait, but hopefully a big, thick bass comes out and gets it because it is such a big bait. I'm not exactly sure what we're gonna get on this thing today, but if I had a guess, I'm gonna say it's gonna probably be at least 3 pounds. I'm just ready to have this rod pulled out of my hands. There we go. There we go. Didn't pull it out of my hands, and not even a big fish, the smallest one of the day. And I lost him, but that was a little 1-pounder. I guess we'll give it another flip or 2 to see if we can't catch something bigger than that. That was just a little dinker. I just like literally gave up because I was gonna show you all in the water how small that fish was as I was talking about how I was gonna get a bigger one on this. That was just not the case. It was a little dinker. There we go. There we go. That's a better fish. That is a better fish than that little dinker that I hooked on this thing the first time. Come on up here, sucker. That's hopefully a 3-pounder. Oh, might be a high 2. Might be a high 2. It's a thick old fish, though. Come on in the boat, my friend. Hopefully get this one in. I think he's hooked pretty good. We got nothing to worry about there. That's a fatty. Yes, sir. That's 3 all day. Woo! Time to put this fatty on the scale. Let's see what she weighs. Hold on, I'm trying to clear that right there. Woo-hoo-hoo! 3.5, 346, I think that is what it says. That is a great fish. Cannot complain about that. On to our next lure. We're gonna have to FaceTime another YouTuber though, because that does it for YakPak's, Kickintheirbasstv, and Fishing with Norm's lures of choice. So on to the next YouTuber, on to the next bait, and let's go ahead and get this fat girl back on in. She's ready to go. I think I'm gonna call it FirstStateFishing. Let's go ahead and give him a buzz. Yo, yo, what's good, man?
Hey, what's going on, man?
Nothing much, just doing a little challenge. I am having YouTubers pick my lures. Do you have any suggestions?
Ooh, suggestions? I'm thinking, like, you got any nice little lipless crankbaits or anything like that, man?
Yeah, I got a few of those. I think we can make that happen.
Yeah, you thinking like 10-pounder or like?
A 10-pounder? I don't know, we're gonna try. I think I can probably get at least like a 2 or 3. The fish have been munching decently well.
Yeah, well, that's your challenge, man. 10-pounder lipless crankbait.
All right, I'll do my best, but take it easy, bro.
All right, have a good one, dude.
Peace.
Peace.
Got the lipless all tied on as First State suggested that I use today. Gonna go ahead and give this sucker a toss. But basically, my tactics for this today are probably gonna be a little bit of yo-yo action, which is just letting it fall down and ripping it up, letting it fall down, ripping it up, and then a little stop and go. So just a nice little steady retrieve and pause. Nice little steady retrieve and pause. Hopefully one of those 2 tactics gets me annihilated today by a nice big old bass. hoping there's something out in front of all this cover. Oh, that bird almost got taken out by my line right there. That would have not been good. Oh, I saw that fish here right next to the boat in that crystal clear water. Came flying off that point right there. Oh no, I lost it. I lost it. That was so cool though. I just ran across this point and that fish came cruising in behind it as I was kind of pulling up next to the boat. Holy smokes, guys. I thought I'd felt a nibble on that point, but we're gonna have to get this thing back out there. I gotta actually land a fish on this thing for Mike. There we go, fish on. Oh, it's a nice little chunker. Came off this deep structure on the Lipless Crank. Thank you, Mike. Oh, he's being chased, he's being chased. Oh, see if he'll go, oh, hold on. I wanna see if I get a double. There's a whole school of them. I'm gonna see if one of them will try to take this thing out of his mouth. Can we get a double, guys? Can we get a double? There was literally a school of like 10 bass, guys. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. We're just gonna get this one in. Oh, do y'all see this? Do y'all see this? Do y'all see this? There's literally 20 bass underneath this boat. Oh, holy smokes, guys. That is something else. What is going on? Guys, that was absolute insanity. I don't know how well the GoPro picked that up, but there was literally, I'm not kidding, probably between 15 and 20 bass between like 2 and 5 pounds right underneath the boat, just swimming all around me, following this guy up. Thank you, Mike, for the recommendation on the Lipless Crank. That was insane. Let me try to get this thing out of here. But what I actually saw, as you can see, the hook right here just is stuck on his side. I saw it just kind of hanging off the side of him. So what I was trying to actually have happen, when bass school up, to get really aggressive, and if a bait's hanging out of one bass's mouth, the other fish will actually start trying to take it out. So that was what I was trying to do. I was trying to get one of those other fish to commit to that thing while I was stuck on the side of this fish and get a double, but no other fish would come up and crush that thing. But that is a fatty right there. A solid 2-pounder, just a thick old boy. I'm gonna take a few more casts, see if I can't get another one of those bass. I don't know where they went, but I'm just gonna cast back in that same direction. Later, bud. There we go, fish on. A nice chunk. I wonder if this fish is with that school. They've gone back over there. That school's kind of all over the place. I don't see him yet. This is the only fish I see with this one, but it is a nice fish. Another solid 2.5 pounder, something like that. Come on up in here, sucker. Out here on this offshore structure. Whew, flung it right off. And on that note, I think it is time to move on to our next lure. That means I need to hit up another YouTuber. I think I might get A-Dub Fishing a little buzz after I get this sucker back in the water. Later, bud. Time to call A-Dub. Let's see if he'll answer. Oh, right away. What's good, boy?
What's up?
Nothing much. So I'm making a video where I'm having YouTubers pick my lures. Any suggestions?
Oh gosh. Have you caught anybody before me, and what did they pick?
I had Noah, Norm, and YakPak pick for me when we were down in Jax the other day, and I'm finishing up the video. They picked a Wacky Rig, a jig, a frog, and then I just called First State. He had me pick a lipless.
All right, I think I know what I'm gonna pick. Nobody's picked the chatterbait yet?
No, not yet. You picked that for Noah's video, didn't you?
Yeah, dude, I love the chatter dog. I can't believe nobody's picked that. That should be good too.
All right, well, you're breaking up, but I think I heard you. The chatterbait is your pick.
Yeah, man, go with the chatterbait.
All right, sounds good. Well, I'll hit you up later. I'm gonna get on these fish.
All right, sounds good.
Peace. A-Dub hooked me up with the sauce today. I'm hoping we get crushed. I really think we're probably gonna get a good bite on this. My only worry with this bait specifically is a lot of these fish that I've been catching have been short striking like crazy. Basically what that means, if you don't know, is they're just not totally taking the bait. All these fish have been hooked on like the outer rims of their lips or even on the outside of their mouth. So I'm a little worried about that because we're gonna need one to fully inhale this thing that I can set the hook on with just that one hook, unlike the trebles on that lipless. So hopefully a fish takes this thing in all the way and gets smacked. Ooh, first cast. Oh, he's on it. Oh my gosh, I see him. He literally just went for it again. Like I said, they're just barely nipping at it. They're barely nipping at it. That was like a nice 4-pounder. Oh God, I just need them to inhale. There's a lot of fish out here glued on this offshore structure today. Oh, come on, something come up and smoke this thing. I'm just gonna do a nice steady retrieve. See if I can get a pop on that. Actually, I lied. Oh my gosh. Oh my, there we go. 2 casts is all it took. Oh yes, baby. Oh yes, get on in the boat. As I said, they were short striking like crazy, but when you're getting enough bites, one of them's eventually gonna get it in their mouth, trying to get this thing off that structure for our next bait. Actually, I'm probably gonna fish with this a little bit more with the fish coming like that, but that's a nice fatty. Woo, these fish are stacked thick on this offshore stuff. Oh gosh, you gotta love it. I just cannot tell you how much fun it is to get on a bite like this where these just fat old bass are stacked up. They're all over this offshore structure. Like, I'm casting it out there, it's crystal clear. I can see that bait from a good mile away, and I just see these bass rolling up on these baits from behind. Like, I'm sitting here right here, and there's just a bunch of bait up above this structure, and I just keep seeing like the silver flash of these fish rolling out there, and that is how you want it to be. I cannot ask for a much better bite than that. Great fish. Adios. Oh, let's get this sucker back in there. That was just super fast. I'm gonna go ahead and get another bite on this before we try to call up another YouTuber. Oh yes, keep on smacking these baits, my dudes. Oh, short striked it again. Come back. Ooh, there's so many fish. There we go, fish on. Oh, the offshore structure is fire today. It's so good. I'm smoking these fish. Oh, I'm having so much fun out here. Come on in here, my dude. Get your butt in the boat. Looking like the smallest one today. We're gonna go ahead and put this sucker back in. I think our time with the chatterbait is done, so let's go ahead and release this dude. Off in a fury. Sheesh, oh my gosh, that fish splashed me like crazy, got me all wet. But I think it is time to go ahead and move on to our next bait. That means we need to hit up another YouTuber. So I think I'm gonna give Ryan is Fishing a FaceTime call, see if he answers, and he has a lure for me to use today. So let's go ahead and do that. Unfortunately, I was not able to get Ryan on the phone, but hopefully y'all enjoyed today's episode. And if you did, make sure you go ahead and subscribe to all the guys that were involved in today's video. And if you want to, you can go ahead and subscribe to my channel if you aren't already, and drop a like. But as always, bass in his passion. Peace.